Alright, we're ready for the video. Hi everybody, welcome back on my YouTube channel. I'm so happy to find you back here for a new YouTube video. Today is about fitness tips I wish I knew, because you know guys, on Instagram and TikTok I always post that kind of video with, you know, tips about fitness in general, but today that's the best opportunity for me to go deeper in my explanations, in my answers, and that's gonna be really interesting because many things to say. And I know we can hear a lot of things about fitness, and my goal is to help you in your fitness journey and not to make you feel guilty. So I've picked your questions, you know, in my stories. There were a lot, so thank you so much. All the questions were really relevant, but I've picked, I would say, the most interesting for you, and I will try to answer right now. Let's go. That's gonna be in 4 parts. So the first one is quickly about myself, and for you as well, you're gonna see. The second one, that will be the most general questions. The third one is about nutrition, so important, and the last one is more about, I would say, motivation. So part 1, quickly about myself. How long are you training for? I'm going to the gym since 2011, so a long time ago, because I am 31 today. I do sports since I am 6. I played football, basketball, so I've always been really passionate about sports. I always did a lot of sports, and yeah, I started fitness literally 13 years ago, almost 14 years. You've been a little shy when you first started working out? I sometimes feel this way. Yes, of course, when I started, I remember the first times I was going to the gym, I was feeling really shy. Fitness has become really trendy, so that's hard for a new member to go to the gym, even more if you are young, I think, because you think there are a lot of confident people over there, even more because you see them on social media really confident, you know, but they are not always confident. Know that? But I totally understand that it can be intimidating, so if you feel that, that's okay, that's normal, because in the gym it's all about body, physical results and stuff like that. So that's not easy if you are new. Remember that you can be really proud of you for starting, and those people have started one day like you. So be proud of you just for your first step in your journey. All right, your workout routine. That's one of the most asked questions I have on social media. So I don't have any workout routine. That's why I actually never answer this question, but don't be disappointed too fast, because I would say I am a balanced girl, so I'm going to gym for a long time, and I am used to that because I gave personal training as well for 5 years. So right now for me, I'm going to gym for my health, you know, and I actually know what I have to do, what I want to do, what I need to do, so I can create a session like that in my head, and you know, going to the gym like, okay, I'm doing that. But it depends on your goal. Like if you are new and if you have maybe more physical goals than me, maybe it's good to have a plan. I also would like to say that going to the gym or doing some sport for me, that's an habit that I have, that's in my routine, but maybe it's not in your routine yet. So that can be really interesting for you to have a plan to start the week. It can be, you know, like a deal you do with yourself, and sometimes it's easier to complete that deal when you write it out and when you know, okay, I have to do 4 times this week. So I'm not telling you not to have a plan, all right? If you have a plan, that's really perfect, but I'm gonna give you, that's really exclusive, but I'm gonna give you a plan that I would do for me. On Monday, legs and glutes. On Wednesday, light cardio and upper body is just an example, right? Upper body, I like doing my back. On Friday, full body strength, and you target glutes and quads again. All right, so like this, you have 2 times glutes, quads. And during the weekend, that's gonna be a circuit training and focus on the core, with a few exercises for core. That's an example that I would do for me. Yeah. So part two already, that's the most general questions. So I try to pick some and to group some to have a more complete answer for you guys. All right, so first one, let me zoom. How to start as a beginner. Fitness for me is about not only physical results, but it's about, and that's why it's interesting, discovering yourself, getting to know yourself, getting to know your body and your sensations with your body. So I would give you 3 things to remember. First one is train with basic exercises. Form before weights. If you have the good form in any exercise, you will be able to get a best sensation, and that's the most important, all right? So once you get the form, you can go deeper and deeper and deeper. So that's really interesting. Basic exercises can be squats, push-ups, lunges, plank. That's examples of basic exercises. Second one is surrounding yourself with qualified people. That can be, for example, a friend who is going to the gym for a few months, a few weeks, maybe, who can help you. Or that can be, if you have the opportunity, a personal trainer. Or of course, you have right now a lot of platforms on internet in which you can find programs and plans and anything. So do not hesitate to get help or to ask someone maybe at the gym for an exercise. Why not? Every time I talk to someone at the gym, that's cool. At the end of the day, that's cool, because you meet someone and the next time you will say hello, So that's cool. That's a vibe. The third one is setting small and realistic goals. Maybe every week, why not? And being patient. Yeah, being patient. If you have a long-term goal, you will probably every day see that goal, and you won't see the everyday result that you have. Because if you set a challenge one week, and if you do it better the next week, that's gonna be, more enjoyable. And you will be like, all right, I make progress. So enjoy the process and set small, realistic goals. Okay, next. So this question is for a lot of you. How to lose fat, advice for fat loss. So to lose fat, a few things. Diet, of course. I'm so sorry to disappoint you. Energy expenditure, big energy expenditure. Sleep, and I will tell you a mindset. I will start with the mindset. It's really good for me to do things naturally. That means being consistent with lightness, because when you force something, honestly, 90% of the time, that won't work. And I can see that with a few things that I do. Sometimes I'm like, I have to do it. And more you have a focus on it, more it's a bad energy, So it's not the energy we want to have. So it's not the right one. So be cool, be patient, be consistent, be patient, be cool. So about diet, so that means eating better, maybe a bit less if you eat too much, and choosing the right foods. That means avoiding sugars, avoiding processed food, of course. That will make the big difference. Also drinking water. About the energy expenditure, of course you can lose fat without doing sports, but if you want to maximize the energy expenditure during the day, it's really good to add sport and movement in your journey, of course, because that will maximize the energy expenditure. That will lead you to a calorie deficit, and that's what we want, all right? So good diet, big energy expenditure with sports. Also sport, the advantage is that that's going to improve your metabolism, and that's the best way to not getting fat again after. Sleep, of course, try to sleep 7 hours every night at least. Me personally, I have to sleep 7 hours, 35 minutes. After that, I wake up. That's crazy. Every day is like that. And about mindset, also, I would like to tell you, try to avoid the scale. I don't have any scale at home. Like, I don't even know what my weight is. For me, it's healthier. Because, the same volume of fat and muscle, that's gonna be different in terms of weight, because the same volume of muscle will be heavier than the fats. And the idea is, imagine you work out, you gain some muscles, but you lose fat. Actually, your body will change in a better way, all right? And you will see you in the mirror, you will be like, all right, and then you will go on scale and your weight will be maybe heavier and you will be disappointed. And you will look back at you in the mirror just after, you will be like, I'm not that good. So you know what I mean? So the scale can be a really bad player in your journey. That's honestly a great advice that I have always given to all my clients, everybody before and now. I'm giving that advice to you today. Next one, how do I get toned flat stomach? Tips to slow down my waist. Slim down your waist is not the same as get toned, all right? Slimming down your waist is all about losing fat. That means what I said before, energy expenditure, doing sports, good diet, etc., etc. All right? If you want to slim down your waist, you have to lose fat on your belly. If you want to get your belly toned, you have to first work your core and your abs. All right, so that's two different things. But of course, if you want us to see your abs, you have to lose fat. All right, so getting toned is maybe more difficult because you have to lose fat and you have to work at the same time. And I really would like to remind you in this question that you cannot target the fat loss. That means, for example, if you do core abs every day, you are not going to lose fat at your belly first. Maybe yes, if you are lucky, but that's your body who decides where you going to lose fat first. Maybe it's gonna be your face, maybe your brother or sister, that's gonna be your the legs, all right? So everybody is different about that. So getting toned is about losing fat. Like this, we will see your abs and doing some core and abs exercises to work your muscles. Of course, to slim down your waist, you have to lose fat. Next question is the same vibe. So what should I do when I want to lose body fat on my belly but gain muscles? Does running help with fat loss while preserving muscle? How to lose fat without gaining muscle mass but toning as well? Whoo! So that's pretty easy to understand if you are focused, but be focused right now. So it's all about here what I have explained before about losing fat. Of course, big energy expenditure, a good diet, drinking water, good sleep, etc., etc., a good mindset about it. But the question is now how you are going to work your muscles, because there are different ways to work your muscles. If you want to gain some volume, of course, it will be about lifting heavy. All right, so running 1 hour won't have the same impact on your muscles than lifting heavy, of course. So if you want to lose fats and to gain weight at the same time, of course, a good diet. But I would really recommend you sessions with big energy expenditures like full legs, heavy legs, full body workout. I personally like circuit training with weights because you lift, you do cardio at the same time, so it's really challenging also for the mind, but you are burning a lot of calories, you are working your muscles, so that's really complete. But when you do glutes and legs, it's interesting as well for that, because glutes, quads, or even the back, those are muscles that require a lot of energy expenditure. So when you do glutes, actually, you know, it's hard. Bulgarian split squat, it's hard. Hip thrust, it's hard because it requires a lot of energy. So that's really interesting for fat burn. Also, of course, if you have a good diet. About the second part of the question, running, of course, that can help with fat loss, fat burn, because of the energy expenditure. But after like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour, it depends on everybody. But you will take the energy in your muscles, and that's the problem, and you will lose your muscles at some point. So that's why if you run a lot and if you want to keep your muscles, that's gonna be more complicated. I personally like running, but it's more about a few minutes for warming up, because that's really interesting for the warm-up. Or I like to do some sprints. I like to keep an athletic shape as well. Sprinting is not the same than long-term cardio. It also has another impact on your muscles. So that could be more interesting for your muscles if you do some sprints than long-term cardio running. And for the last part, if you want to lose fat without gaining muscles but toning, it's all about try to include explosiveness in your workout, athletic work, and you will work, you know, more with elasticity. So that's going to be at the end of the day a different result as well. So you will have a more athletic shape, so less volume, but you will be thinner, you know. Know that if you work as well in an athletic way, that can be also interesting, like your glutes can be really pumped. It has a great impact on your muscles. I remember when I was playing basketball, I already had rounded glutes because, you know, you are always like this, hips back, knees bent. It's almost a squat. And you work with explosivity, but yeah, I had rounded glutes at a time. So maybe like this you understand more. So what workout session for someone who wants thinner legs? I just explained this. So more athletic work. Oh gosh, this question is for you all. Cardio before or after workouts? First of all, it depends on your goal. Of course, if you want to lift heavy, prioritize that. And if you want to burn fat maybe at the same time, you can do cardio after, if you still have energy for that. But if you prioritize performance, like if you want to sprint or if you absolutely want to run for 30 minutes, try to start your session with that. So it really depends on your goal. Of course, if I want to lift heavy, if I want to do legs, I will never do 30 minutes of cardio just before. As I told you, I personally like doing cardio at the beginning of my session, like warming up. That's really great to get the blood flowing through the legs. That's what I do most of the time. Do you practice differently when you are on your period? How do you train when it's that period of the month? I never answered that question. I would say that I've been lucky till now because my periods never had a big impact on my sport journey. I don't know why, but since I'm 30, like I'm 31 now, as I told you, since I would say last year, maybe I feel it more. So that leads me to listen to my body even more. And at the moment, when it's that time of the month, I prioritize stretch, mobility, or light cardio. And you know, that's okay. That's okay. Don't feel guilty because you don't work out like you would like to. That's okay. We are the woman in this world, so don't feel guilty, please. Cool, relax. So I have included more mobility in my routine, and honestly, I can see it's really game changer for like 2 years. Know that before I was giving mobility to my clients, but it was not really in my routine. I don't know why, because I was feeling always like indestructible. But now I feel like it's really game changer. So what are your 3 favorite exercises for the butts? What are your favorite booty building exercise? I'm gonna go straight to the point. Bulgarian split squats, hip thrusts, B-stance RDL, that's what I've written here. Yeah, B-stance RDL. I really prioritize unilateral moves. It is so effective for glutes. Like lately, I started doing my hip thrust to change with one leg, and that was burning so much. I think this is in my last workout on Instagram. That's fire. So go and watch my post on Instagram. Save and try later at the gym. Already the part 3 about food, but it's like I took too much. Well, first of all, do you calorie count? Do you count calorie? No, I don't count calorie because I would say that I am more a balanced girl. So with time, I've learned to know myself, know what is good for me. For me, being patient in what you want is a real quality. So now we all want to start fitness and to get results directly. That's why many of us stop or cannot be really consistent, because you want a result right now. So be patient, try to listen to your body. At the end of the day, maybe it will take more time, but at the end of the day, I promise it's gonna be healthier and you will be in a good relationship with your body. So I made a video a few months ago on my channel about that, why I don't count calories, so you can go and check. I think that can be really interesting. So do protein powder helps more for getting bigger. I don't take protein powder, so I don't take any fitness supplements. I take general supplements like vitamins and stuff like that, but I do not take any fitness supplements. Of course, that can help. I'm gonna be true with you, that can help in certain case, but it's not necessary. That's what you have to understand. It's not necessary. First of all, because you can find protein in the general alimentation, general food. So it's all about organization. And most of the time, the problem is the timing with the protein, because of course you need protein to build your muscles. You need protein, and even more in the hour after your workout. If you want to gain volume on your muscle, you have to give protein to your muscles. The hour is the best after the workout, and sometimes you don't have it, so protein powder can be the solution. Yeah, but it's all about, organization. I am lucky, I know I can go back home directly after my session. You will say that, but I think there is always a solution. So if you don't want to take protein powder, that's okay. You don't have to, just be organized with food. So is creatine important for muscle mass? Even if I want lean muscles, are supplements necessary? For example, creatine. So about the supplements, I just told you I don't take it, but that's not necessary. That's not necessary for me today, and I really would like to be true with you. I always tell that, but for me it's all about business, because fitness is trendy, so that's easy for the brands right now to tell you, to put you in the mind you have to buy that to have results. Also because the influencers receive a lot of money because of you guys, because you buy that. They receive a lot of money for promoting something. Sometimes that's girls who are 21, 22, and they don't even know how it works exactly. Honestly, I talk about that because it disturbs me a bit, because it's about health and it's about having a healthy relationship with yourself. But how can you promote that if you promote, okay, you have to spend 100 in supplements that are not really necessary? Okay, I know that many brands wanted to offer me some money for promoting that, but I always refuse that, because that's not me. That's not me. You can have results without supplements. You always ask about creatine. This is something we talk about a lot at the moment on social media. So creatine is something naturally produced by the body and can be really interesting for people who prefer short, intense efforts like sprints, like lifting really heavy with 2, 3, 5 reps, 6 reps maybe. And we will consume the quantity we have pretty quickly. So that can be interesting in terms of performance to get creatine in that kind of situation. That's gonna have an impact on performance, on how you recover. But know that you can do without, and the effect of creatine is not really immediate. Like when you take creatine, you have to wait a few weeks before it takes effect. Like if you take it today and in two days you tell me, oh, I feel the effect. No, that's not true. That's in your head. All right. But don't forget that it won't do everything. Like it won't replace a good routine, working out 3-4 times a week consistently, or a good sleep, so a good recovery. That will have a minor impact. That can be okay, but once again, that's not necessary. So how to enjoy food without nutritional values? Like sweet without feeling guilty. So guilty is the word. You feel guilty, I think, when you don't have balance, because you know you've been abusing of some things. So that's why you feel guilty. So maybe try at first to work on that balance, like starting by not buying processed food, sweet food, stuff like that. And once it will be a habit in your mind, in your routine of, okay, I'm not eating sweet food that much. Once you will buy some sweet food just one day, you will be okay. So once again, it takes time. It's all about habits, changing your routine, changing your habits. That will change your mind. Finding a balance. When you know you are in a balance, you don't feel guilty or less guilty. What to eat when you are on a budget? What's your go-to meal? The simple foods are really the best. These are some examples. Oatmeal, fruit, vegetable in any kind, you know. You can do some soup. I like soup. Tomato soup, eggs. I always have eggs in my fridge. White meat like chicken, of course. This is less expensive. Whole grain pasta, whole grain rice. You can do a lot of different toasts. I love toast. Like almost every day I do toast. I always have a big meal, and then I have most of the time a meal with toast, soup. That's easy to prepare. So the kind of meal that I like, that's more, a piece of meat with tagliatelle, rice, and vegetables. And yeah, as I told you, I often do toast any kind of way. And most of the time that's with eggs. Also a bowl that's pretty easy to make, like chicken, salad, mango, red onions. 15 minutes prep. And water. How long do you train and how often? What's your eat before and after? About 1 hour in general. Sometimes less, sometimes more, but 1 hour, that's the best deal. And I try to go 3 to 5 times a week. What's your before and after? Usually I don't eat directly before. I try to go to the gym at least 1 hour, 30 minutes after a meal, and directly after, most of the time I have eggs. All right, next. Any advice for staying? And guys, if you don't have time to go back home and eating, you can have a Tupperware with a meal, so a meal prep. I did that for years, so no excuses, because I can see you right now directly in the comment like, yeah, but you go back home, it's easy. No, for years, I was going to work, I was going to university, and every time I had my meal prepped. All right, so if I can do it, you can do it. Any advice for staying disciplined with healthy eating habits? So as I told you, change your habits. You just have to force yourself for the first times, and once you get those first times, that's gonna be in your routine. So drink water, you will like it. Try to cook, you will like it. Avoid buying sweet food, processed food. That's it. Sorry guys, I'm going to the toilets. I'm back. Last part, this is the part 4, motivation. How are you always motivated? How do you stay consistent? I'm not always motivated to go to the gym or to do some sports. It's my routine now. But for that, you have to put some efforts in it. And you have to pass successfully these first steps of going to the gym for the first times. That's hard, but that's mindset. And once your brain is used to, you have won. You have really won. Beginner full body routine day. I wanted to give you one typical full body routine day. So this is a gift for you today, guys. So first of all, don't skip the warm-up and the mobility. You can find it everywhere on my page if you want. I made a warm-up one day on TikTok. So imagine I'm your personal trainer today. So I'm gonna start with squat press with a light dumbbell. So a squat and a press like this, you work your entire body. So that's a pretty interesting exercise. Then we're gonna go to the leg press because that's an assisted machine. That's pretty easy for a beginner to work. You have to still engage your core, but maybe less than if you did a barbell back squat, for example, and you will work your legs really efficiently. So that's a good way to go deeper in the efforts. After that, we're gonna keep on with the legs, so with body weight lunges without any weights. Form first, so I will prioritize the sensation. We will do 3 rounds of 20. All right. After that, one assisted machine for the back. Most of the time, back requires core, and to start the machine, that's really good, because if you have to do a flexion of your hips and then a pull, most of the time a beginner, it's pretty hard because you have to feel your body in the space, and yeah, that's really complicated. So a machine, a pull, seated or vertical. After that, we will do biceps. I don't do biceps because I always have biceps. I don't really like that, but if you want to do biceps, we will do a biceps curls technique is not so hard, so that's okay. After that, a plank as long as possible for 2 rounds, because you are a beginner, 2 rounds. And at the end, you can put a challenge like 10 burpees or 20 burpees. 20 burpees, that's okay. With a jump. Like this, you challenge a bit your cardio and your head. That's a good deal of session. Oh, that's the last question. How can I get more motivation to work out? What is your best advice to improve at the gym? So I've put these questions together. My final word will be today, have fun. We are not in competition. The only competition you have is with you. That's the competition of the life. Try to be healthy first, because we forget about that. If you are healthy, you will have a long-term healthy relationship with yourself, with sport, with everything, because that will be more enjoyable. How would you like to deal with something that you don't like? At the end of the day, you will give up. Set realistic goals, set little challenge, try to change your routine. You can, for example, do the same weeks for 2-3 weeks, then you can change, or every time you can change, it's whatever. There are no rules. The main rules are just not finding a balance to not get injured, and yeah, to be consistent, of course, for your whole life. Finally, that's the main goal. Yeah, I really wanted to have an healthy approach of the fitness today, because for me, fitness unfortunately can be not really toxic, but almost. And that's not what I want to give to my community and my followers. So I really wanted to remind you today that having fun in what you do, that's not a competition. It's not because you don't have the perfect rounded glutes and the perfect flat stomach that you are not okay, you are not beautiful, you are not hot, you know? So be confident today who you are, because you are unique. Try to challenge yourself, to elevate yourself every time. But sometimes if you are in a down, that's okay. The next week you will be up. So be consistent, have fun, and thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that it will help you for the future and in your fitness journey, maybe in your life, I don't know. That's my goal. I really enjoy your comments. So if you like, maybe you can subscribe to my channel, more video coming. Tell me if you liked it, and you can put a like. Thank you so much again, and see you in the next one. Mwah.